Hey, what's up, guys? It's Friday. I got the house to myself, and I got nothing else to do, and I wanted to get some practice in doing these videos, so I thought maybe I could go back through some of my LPs and just show you guys a couple records that have either meant something to me or have some kind of sentimental value to me. I don't know if anybody's going to care about this, but they're records that I like a lot. This first one, Ryan Adams, by Ryan Adams. Came out in 2014, I believe. Yeah, 2014. Awesome album. And, Ryan has been in the news for the wrong reasons lately, and has kept a pretty low profile, probably wisely, this past year. So I'm not going to go into that. A pretty awesome album. It's really stark. It's very bare. It's very simple, but powerful, great songs. I really like his production style. I really like the way it's almost like a Bruce Springsteen type of sound, but updated for today. Great album. Love it. This next one is one of my all-time favorites. This is Backless by Eric Clapton. And this is one of those albums, it's funny. It's not his best album by any stretch. It's not a renowned album. It's not famous for any particular reason, but I love this album, and I always have. This is actually a record that I got from my stepdad's personal collection. I kind of appropriated it whenever I moved out of the house. Came out in 78. He was still married to Patty Harrison. He was going through kind of a lull in his career, drinking way too much. It's not a showy album at all. Like, there's no Guitar Hero pyrotechnics on it. It's very simple. It's very laid back, very country sound. Has, I think, 2 Dylan covers on it. If I Don't Be There by Morning is a Dylan song. And Walk Out in the Rain, the opening cut, is a Bob Dylan song. I just love the sound of it. And it's probably just more nostalgia for me than anything. But I love it. Check it out if you never heard it before. This is one of my favorites. Miles Davis. I love Miles Davis. He's one of my favorite artists of all time. But this is probably top 3 albums for me with Miles. It's In a Silent Way. Great band on this. First of all, Herbie Hancock, Chick Corea, Wayne Shorter, Dave Holland on bass, Tony Williams on drums, and special guest John McLaughlin. But he uses the musicians in a really, really special way. It's very somber, quiet, peaceful. In fact, the track names are interesting. There's 2 sides, each with 2 songs or movements on them. Side 1 contains the songs Shh and Peaceful, and on side 2 it's In a Silent Way, and it's about that time. So really, really, really interesting progressive album. It's very somber, mellow. It's just beautiful. It's a really special album to me. The Rolling Stones, Black and Blue. Now, I'm a huge Rolling Stones fan. I love them. And this is, again, sensing kind of a trend here. It's not their most famous album. It's not one of their best, conventionally, but it means a lot to me. Oh, I forgot. This one has fake Rolling Stones signatures on it. Some idiot decided to trick his friends, I guess. Or maybe they are real and this is worth millions of dollars. I sincerely doubt that. This is the first album to feature Ron Wood, the schnoz here, in his official role as a replacement for Mick Taylor. Now, he had appeared on a couple songs before, and he actually helped produce It's Only Rock and Roll, the album before this, but this was the first one that he appeared on for real. It's a weird album. It's very funky. It's very, I believe they recorded it in Jamaica. It's very kind of reggae influenced. Hey Negrita, Crazy Mama, as well as some good ballads too. What do we got next here? Ooh! It's another one from my stepdad's record collection. I don't know where he came upon this. I never heard him talk about the Yardbirds at all, but this album is called Having a Rave Up with the Yardbirds. And this is actually kind of a compilation album of some early Yardbirds tracks. And if you're not familiar with the Yardbirds, I mean, I think most people are at this point, but they're kind of renowned for having three of the greatest lead guitar players in history pass through their ranks. Eric Clapton, this guy right here, Jeff Beck, and of course, the masterful Jimmy Page. So this does have a couple tracks, I believe, with Clapton, but most are either Jeff Beck and one with Jimmy Page. So it's a really cool. This record's in terrible condition. I mean, it's awful, but it's a cool one. A lot of really great songs on here. Smokestack Lightning, Train Kept a Rollin', You're a Better Man Than I. It's a cool album. Yeah. Ooh. Now this one, I couldn't believe it when I found it in the store. This is my favorite Frank Zappa album, almost bar none. Overnight Sensation. Excuse me, One Size Fits All might come in a very close second. But this is Zappa and the Mothers of Invention, Roxy and Elsewhere. This is a compilation of, I think, 3 or 4 shows at the Roxy Club in LA. And, if you've listened to my podcast, you should check it out. We talk about this album ad nauseum. It's an incredible piece. The performances are incredible. The songs are great. It's Zappa at his funkiest and very progressive and very adventurous music. It's really, really neat stuff. And they just released a Blu-ray of the performances. That he filmed it. He filmed like almost everything back in the day. It's unbelievable. But they released a DVD version, a Blu-ray version of it, which is absolute must-have for any Zappa fan, or if you're into this kind of music. Really cool album. All right, last but not least, certainly not least, this is I'm a huge fan of David Lynch and Twin Peaks in particular, and so this is the music from the limited event series, this 2017, the reboot of Twin Peaks. And this is kind of, it's basically a collection of the songs that were played at the Roadhouse at the end of the show. At the end of each episode, they'd have a performer. People like Eddie Vedder came up, 9 Inch Nails, Julie Cruz, yeah. So, really cool collection, and probably my favorite track on this is a song called Tarifa by Sharon Van Etten. This is the show introduced me to Sharon Van Etten, and I've been a fan ever since. Really, really beautiful, haunting song. Fits right in the middle of it. Fits perfectly in the mood for Twin Peaks. So if you haven't checked that out, please do. Yeah, this was not a cheap purchase, but certainly worth it. So. All right, guys, that's all I got. Just like I said, wanted something to do today, so I thought I'd give you a quick spin through some of my favorite albums in my collection. We'll see you next time. Peace.